Good afternoon. This is live from Jerusalem, broadcast in from the Netivyah Bible Instruction Ministry with more information and updates. So let's see. First of all, I want to reiterate that the battles are still raging. There are still battles, new ones today. The area is still not pacified. There's Hamas militants coming and going. There's Hamas militants that are hiding out and then needed to be found or are attacking. Recently, there was a car hijacked north of the Gaza Strip, which was then driven wildly towards Ashkelon and was successfully stopped. Recently, there was an attempt to infiltrate by sea and to the area of the Zikim beach that was stopped by the Navy. It has not yet been made public the severity of this calamity, the severity of this event. It is a game changer. There's nothing like it. This is there was Israel before and Israel after, but in any case, it is still ongoing at this moment. An hour ago, Hamas militants. There was a report of Hamas militants invading an army base. It's unimaginable, but it's happening. And I have seen things that I wish I'd never seen, which are not being made public because they are too hard to believe. They are just unbelievable. I'm sure that many of you have already seen the pictures of Israeli citizens in Gaza or being taken to Gaza, elderly, women, children, soldiers, but that is just a taste of the calamity that the country is facing. Nevertheless, I want to thank you all for especially those that are standing with us in prayer, standing with us financially. And I want to take a moment to read the names of some of the people that have contributed in the last 24 hours to our efforts to support the soldiers. I'll be leaving in a few minutes to drive a car full of equipment down to an army base near the Lachish area, near Kiryat Gat. And I want to read to you some of the names of people who contributed for that purchase. I purchased toothpaste, toothbrushes, towels, socks, shirts, energy bars, things that the army the sergeants asked me to get for their combat unit. So, I'm going to start just reading the names because I want you to know that it's appreciated. I want it to be written in the book of life. Lucy Yang, Gloria Petrova, Joseph Kelber, Luann MacArthur, Michael Knesvich, Jean Giorgetti, Thomas Mitchum, Audrey Cosford, Mika Cantoluto, Jean Akin, Tudor Guergiev, Judith Corver, an organization called Profiteers Blueprint, Greg Hunsinger, Julie Sullivan, Jonathan Elias Sueza de Costa, Linda Whitaker, Dr. Linda Whitaker, Barbara Gibson, Juan Lin Liu, Christio Kotzev, Diane and Trevor Rudkin, Craig Hudson, Russ and Peggy Magnuson, Joanna Sederholm, Cheryl Lewis Wilson, Vismay Christian, Valerie Levy, Mr. R.I. Benson. I want to thank you all for jumping forward, for stepping forward, for volunteering, for supporting Israel in this time of crisis. And I want more than this. I want to ask you for prayer for the IDF, for the families of the fallen, for the wounded, and for the government. And now I'd like to offer you to please write your questions and comments, and I will do my best, despite the busy day, to answer any and all questions you have in this regard. Additionally, just to clarify, in case it was unclear, the number of dead is up to 400. The number of wounded is at 1,900. That number is going to climb a lot. Those are just the ones that are allowed to be officially said, meaning that their families have been informed. But the number will climb. As time goes on, we hear more stories of bravery, of people who, unarmed or poorly armed, face down well-armed militants on their own, or of small groups that saved their settlement. But the situation is still dire, and it will get worse before it gets better, as hard as it is to imagine. We're going towards weeks of combat in the Gaza front, and very, very likely, it's already started, in the Lebanese front with the Hezbollah, which, unlike Gaza and unlike the Hamas, the Hezbollah is... It's hard for me to even say that Gaza and the Hamas are a terror organization and not an army, but practically they don't have an air force. They hardly have a navy. They don't have tanks. They are not an army. The Hezbollah is an army. It's going to be a whole nother ball game up there. But from the looks of it, it's going to happen as well. In a previous video, I spoke somewhat about the geopolitical thoughts regarding the involvement of Iran and other people behind this, such as Russia, that are glad to have the U.S. focus on the Middle East and not on the Ukraine at this time. Maybe later we'll talk more about that, but there's a lot going on at once. This is not simple. This is not easy. As it progresses, we also hear more about friends who have been affected by it personally. My sister has friends who were murdered yesterday. In-laws were at the party where the young men and women there were massacred. And it's difficult. Everyone is doing their best. Everyone is participating. And yes, we are going to do our part. We're going to do our best. And God bless you all. Stand with us in prayer. Stand with us. Share. Share what is happening. Share with your friends. Share this news. God bless you all. From Jerusalem, Daniel Stern.